Hey, welcome back to our virtual campfire, everybody. I'm the RV Wingman, and this is Wingman Nation, where we sit around and visit about all kinds of things, many of which are RV and RV lifestyle related, in hopes that we can all learn from each other and be a smarter, a wiser wingman or wingwoman to others. Today I want to bring up a story that I saw that made me feel so good. It also made me think about campgrounds and RVing. Now, as a former campground owner, I'm like, I can absolutely relate to this story. It's a story that perfectly captures what I believe is the spirit of community and kindness. Values I say pretty much all of us probably believe are important everywhere, including in the world of camping and RVing. So, recently, a local businessman in Omaha, Nebraska, is watching the local news on TV. And for some reason, he took action in a small act of generosity and kindness, which was more than appreciated by a group of senior citizens. Now, as you watch this story, you may be thinking, how does this relate to RVing and camping? Well, I think that most of you will see the opportunity here, but I will explain after the story. And I also have a quick question for you.
Didn't take long for a 6 on Your Side investigation to get results. Last night, we showed you illegal dumping of old tires behind an Omaha church.
The small congregation of senior citizens couldn't remove the eyesore themselves or afford to pay someone to do it. Tonight, Mike McKnight shows us how they got help from a stranger.
Illegal dumpers drove behind a church to leave a disgraceful eyesore. Our story told how the small congregation of mostly senior citizens at Mount View Presbyterian didn't have the physical or financial strength to remove the old tires.
We would have to pay for it, and now, through the kindness of this soul, we don't have to.
These church members found all the tires gone early Tuesday morning.
Very grateful to whomever picked them up. We were wondering how we were going to get rid of them, and it's a miracle.
One provided by Nick Berg of Riverside Junk Haulers, who at Toby Mass picked up all the old tires after a customer watched our 6 on Your Side report and called him.
They did say that they couldn't afford to have a crew come out and pay for it, so we decided you didn't have to pay anybody, we'll just come take it for you, take it off your guys' hands, get it off everybody's, so you don't have to worry about it at the end of the day.
Nick says he's paying the estimated $110 to have the tires recycled. And for a Sunday sermon, the pastor has a real-life example of a good Samaritan, in this case, several of them. After our story aired, the congregation received at least a half-dozen calls. They say the response has been a blessed surprise.
Thank you for doing the story for us. That got the ball rolling. We had several offers, and we are done with the tires. They are already gone.
The green space behind the church is clean again, but church members say the illegal tire dumpers shouldn't have a clear conscience. Yep. On Your Side at 53rd and Hartman, Mike McKnight, 6 News.
All right, so that was a simple story, right? But nice, I think it was. And the young man, think about it, had to pay $110 out of his pocket just to get rid of the tires. Tell you this, if I owned a business in Omaha, Nebraska, I would offer those 2 young men a job. I promise you I would. Don't you love those kind of stories where you can see how people who didn't need to step up and never got a dime for their kindness, actually had to pay for it in this example, step up and do the right thing just because it is the right thing? I know I do. I just wanted to give you something positive to think about today. I don't know, in hopes that it might inspire you on your next camp out in the campground, whether it's picking up trash or litter that somebody left behind or just helping somebody out that may be having an issue or even just spreading a little bit of goodwill around. Every single act of kindness counts. It does. Even the little bitty ones, they all add up. I hope that when you head out on your next adventure, or heck, even the next time you see an opportunity anywhere, to do something kind, wherever you are, something that you don't have to do, that you'll consider stepping up and do it. Just like the young men who picked up the tires they did it because it was the right thing to do. And that leads me to tell you something similar that I experienced recently when I was over at Berryland Campers. I was visiting with one of their salespeople. This guy, he is amazing. His name is Jock Milton. We're just sitting there talking, and I'm just thinking, this kid is so good at what he does. And I asked him a question. I said, hey, Jock, if one of your customers that you had sold an RV to, a motorhome to, called you up and said, hey, I'm driving through the area. Could you maybe get on top of my roof? I'm old and fat and don't want to get up on the roof. But would you, if I come by, would you be willing to get up and just kind of give me an inspection and look around and just make sure from a safety standpoint that I'm good to go? I said, what if somebody asked you that? Now, you're not going to pay you for it. They just want you to do it. What would you do? He goes, I don't know. I do it. He says, I do it. I said, but no, hang on. You're not going to get paid for it. Nobody's going to pay you to do this. He's like, I know. I said, well, but why do you do it? Yeah, I don't know. I just do it. And I said, but couldn't you just make up an excuse? He says, yeah, but that's what I do. And I'm thinking, that's why this young man is so very, very good at what he does. He does things that he doesn't have to do because it is the right thing to do. And I'm telling you, that is an example of the kind of people that I do business with. Would I like you to buy an RV from one of the dealers that I recommend? Of course I would. But I want you to buy from somebody that does things because it is the right thing to do. So here's my question for you. Have you ever helped somebody? I know you have. I want you to tell me a story about when you decided to help someone just because it was the right thing to do. You didn't get to be on the TV news. Nobody paid you for it. Maybe you didn't even get a thank you, but you did something. You went out of your way just because it was the right thing to do. What did you do? Or tell me if somebody came over and helped you, maybe when you were camping and RVing and you were just learning the ropes. Tell me about when somebody came over and helped you and they didn't have to do it. I believe that today's message, I wanted to do something positive today and talk about kindness and thoughtfulness and going above and beyond. I think it is so needed, and I think that I'm hopeful that in our political climate where everybody's fighting against each other, that after the election in November, that there will be an attitude change, maybe an attitude change in the direction of kindness and thoughtfulness, because it is the right thing to do. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I know it was kind of short and I wasn't ragging on anybody, but I do want to encourage you to be the best wing man or best wing woman that you can possibly be. Our world, specifically our country, needs as many good people that do things because it's the right thing to do as we can get. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.